and be a community regardless if it's virtual. Thanks again, Rabbi, for inviting me. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays to everyone, and of course, please be safe. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nisa, and I think your message is truly one of inspiration for all of us, and it's something that I can integrate in my life as well. So thank you. We're going to do things slightly out of order. I know I said that we're going to light the menorah at 9:50. We're actually going to light the menorah at 6:50. I'm kind of working with somebody on the East Coast, so I'm kind of getting the times mixed up. But we're going to light the menorah now, and then we're going to go on to the next part of tonight's celebration. So I'd like to invite a good friend of ours and a pillar of the Los Altos Chabad community, Asaf Resnick, who's been with us for a number of years now. He's helped build up this community, and I'd like to invite Asaf to light the menorah. Tonight's the 7th night, so if you don't have a menorah, listen in, and Asaf will lead the menorah lighting.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I don't have the camera on the candles itself, so you'll have to imagine. Is that okay? I guess I can do it this way. Hold on. I'll virtually do it and then write the
Asaf, we're
menorah.
missing your kippah.
Oh my goodness. Wait, hold on, the dog. Can I grab the key for this?
Why?
I'll be right back.
So the concept of the kippah for the for the mayor is when we say a blessing, we wear a head covering to remind us that God's above. When people don't wear it all the time, sometimes we get a little vermished, as they say. But we are now ready.
Beautiful, Asaf.
And everyone is Asaf will say the bracha, and then the blessing, and then we'll sing the Ma'os Tzor afterwards, and then go into the next part.
Okay. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של חנוכה.
Amen.
Amen. Second part, right? ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם
Asa.
שעשה ניסים לאבותינו בימים ההם, בזמן הזה. Amen. Don't tell my mom I did so badly.
Where's the matches?
And now we're gonna, while everybody lights their menorah, we're gonna sing Ma'os Tzor together. So Ma'os Tzor Yeshuati Lechana Elishabeach Tikon Bet Tefilati Visham Toda Nizabeach Letachin Matbeach Mitzor Hamnabeya Azegmor V'Shir Mizmor Chanukat HaMizbeach Azegmor V'Shir Mizmor Chanukat HaMizbeach. So this time you got to hear me singing, but soon you're going to hear Isaac singing, who has a slightly better voice than I do, and has a lot more musical talent than I do. So for our next part of tonight's presentation and Hanukkah celebration, I'm going to call up a good friend of mine, a childhood friend of mine, Rabbi David Weinbaum, who's risking his life on the East Coast in the snowstorm to do a presentation sharing the, we all know the story of Hanukkah, how they found a little jug of oil, but we don't ever get the opportunity to see how oil is made. where does the oil come from? We know it's from olives generally, or from other things, but the miracle of Hanukkah was that they found 1 jug of pure olive oil. So Rabbi David, a good friend of mine, and not only a good friend of mine, childhood friend of mine. I studied in England for 3 years. So I met him then many, many years ago. And we're going to invite him I'm going to make him the co-host here so he can share. There we go. So he can share and present, and I'm going to spotlight him as well. Add spotlight. And without further ado.
Can you hear me and see me?
Yes, Rabbi David.
So I just want to tell you what's going on over here. Right now, we have over a foot of snow already that came down the last 3 hours. It is coming down. We have a white Hanukkah, basically. If you've ever experienced one of those before, you may have heard them white other stuff, but over here we call it a white Hanukkah. So it's nice to see everyone. Right now, I'm in the Judean hills. You can find me somewhere to the left. And actually, where I am right now is in a basement, underground somewhere, and there's a green screen behind me. But I want to make sure you can all hear me, so could you just make it on view all that I can see everyone over there? Just asking people on the computer. Okay, so if you can see me, just give me a wave. This way I know that I'm speaking to human beings and you can hear me good. All right, look at that, excellent. So as Rabbi Ezzy said, it's so nice to see everyone over here. You look like you're enjoying some sunshine sitting over there, and it's not so sunny over here. But let's talk about the olives for the olive oil. So let's go back really quickly. You know the story. You've grown up hearing this story, how the Jews had this great battle. They won the battle. They came back to the temple. They could only find this tiny little bit of jug of oil. And I can tell you, when I go somewhere, I'm not looking for oil. The first thing I personally look for is Wi-Fi. When I go anywhere, if you don't have Wi-Fi, you can't really do anything. So, but they weren't looking for Wi-Fi. They were looking for oil. And they found this tiny little bit of oil. And God made a huge miracle. And that tiny little jug of oil lasted for 8 days. Now, if you ask me, I don't know what stores you shop by, but over here we have a ShopRite. I can go down the street, get this oil, which cost about $45 for a tiny little thing of oil, and take that oil and put it in my menorah, and it's no big miracle. So this can be a little bit interactive, so I'm going to ask you if you can wave if you have any answers, and we'll unmute you and you can tell me and speak to me. Can anyone tell me what took them 8 days to get new oil? Why was the big miracle? So it lasted for 8 days. What was the big deal that it lasted for 8 days? You can get oil anywhere. Anyone have any ideas? Just wave at me and we'll unmute you. Don't be shy. I do not bite. You know what? I'm gonna pick on people if you're not.
God knows why. Why, Nadavi?
Because it took 8 days to make the oil.
Why did it make 8 days?
Make oil?
Because it took 8 days to make the oil, so then it will go out in 8 days, and then they can redo it in the 8 days.
Words of wisdom. Words of wisdom.
That is very good. Good job. So you say it took 8 days to get new oil, it took 8 days to make oil. So there's actually two opinions, and we're going to learn about both of them tonight. One is that it actually didn't take 8 days to make oil. One is that it only took about 1 day for them to get oil. But you see that the high priest was impure from battle. And it took 7 days to purify himself before he could put his seal on the oil. If you go to 7-Eleven and you go buy a Coke and the seal of the Coca-Cola is opened, you're going to put that bottle back and take one that is closed. You're not going to have one that's open, especially during COVID. All right, you're not going to buy anything that has got anything open that someone else could have touched. You're not sure where it comes from. And it's the same thing with the oil in the temple, that they would have to make sure that it had the high priest. And the high priest was impure and it took 7 days to pure. That's one reason. The other reason is that it actually did take 8 days to get oil. You see, they were in Jerusalem. If you've ever been to Israel before, and you would know there's a place in Israel called Tekoa, which back then took about, I would say, a day and a half to travel there, and a day and a half to travel back from Jerusalem. And in Tekoa, this is actually, as you see behind me, is some fields in Tekoa where they had olive trees, a lot of olive trees over there. So right over here, I have one of those trees from the co-op. I'm gonna come a little bit closer to the camera so you can see. You will see on this olive tree that there are olives on the top of the tree right over here at the top. Okay, there's olives in the middle of the tree and there's olives at the bottom of the tree. Now, by raise of hands, if you think they would take the olives from the top of the tree, raise your right hand. If you think they cut the olives from the top of the tree, raise your right hand. Okay. If you think they cut the olives from the bottom of the tree, raise your left hand. Okay. If you're not sure, raise both hands. Okay, pretty good, guys. Pretty good. You guys, okay. So I'll tell you, those that put their hand up that they cut the olives from the bottom of the tree, let me see your hands again. It was the left hand if you thought it was the olives from the bottom of the tree. Well, you guys are all wrong. I'm sorry. That's right. They did not choose the olives from the bottom of the tree. They cut the olives from the top of the tree. You see, the olives on the top of the tree, even if you go to any olive tree today, are actually black, just like you see over here, where they start changing colors in the middle, and as they get to the bottom, they're green. And that is because the olives at the top of the tree are most ripe. And therefore, they are the most juiciest. And that's because the sun is shining down on them the most, and therefore we get the most out of them. Now, let me ask you a question. If you squash oranges, what do you get? Thank you, orange juice. Thank you for those that were saying. If you squash lemons, what do you get?
Juice.
Lemon juice, thank you. Someone's listening, lemon juice. If you squash bananas, what do you get?
Mashed banana.
Thank you, mushed bananas, thank you. And if you squash a synagogue, what do you get? Lots of juice. Okay, so but that's not what I'm going to ask you. If you squash olives, what do you get? Delayed reaction. If you squash olives, what do you get?
Olive oil.
Really? We just spoke about all those things that you get juice from. Well, you know what? Let's find out. So if you were here, I would call different people up. I have over here lots of different olives, beautiful, juicy olives. What we're going to do is we're going to put it into the sack right over here. I actually took this from my wife before I came today. She uses it for washing socks, and I just stole it on my way out of the house. What we're going to do is I'm going to take all the olives, and I'm going to pour all the olives into our bag. You can see already they're dripping everywhere, all over the floor here. Excellent. Okay. So right over here, we have all of our olives in our bag. I'm now going to take these olives, and right over here, you haven't seen it because it was behind me, is our olive press. And I'm going to take these olives, and I'm going to put them down in our press, just like this. Now, in the time of the Bet HaMikdash, in the time of the temple, what they would do is they would put all the olives in. They would have this ginormous log of wood, and they would go up and down on this wood, and out would come, well, we're going to find out what comes out of olives in a second, okay? So we don't have that machine over here. We have a small press, and we have logs of wood right over here. Wood. We're going to first take the first two logs of wood, which make a hole right in the middle that our hole can be over there. We have to make sure they're balanced good on top of the olives, balance them out. Okay. We're then going to take our next two pieces of wood. We're going to put them down right on top, just like this. You ever played Jenga before? A little bit like that. Take the next two pieces, put them on top. Build up right over here. Two more right over there. We'll put two on top over here. We'll then take our last piece, which is real solid, put it right on top, right over there. Okay. Now, that was the easy part, building this whole contraption over here. That was easy. The hard part is actually taking this big, ginormous round thing and putting it on top without knocking down any of the bricks, which I will attempt to do. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Nothing fell down. That was great. Okay. So now we have over here all of the olives inside of this press. The reason why we do this is we do not want the olives running away. I also do not want to get stuff either. I'm going to take the Okay, I'm going to go around and around really fast in the beginning. It's the easy part. So we get press.
I don't know.
Okay. Here we go. This is the real easy part. As we go down on it, and then it will get a little bit harder. And at this point, I'm going to take a jug, put it right over here at this jug, right over here at the bottom, and see as we start going around. Now that's a little bit harder. See what we can get out over here. Okay. Now, if we can lower the camera a little drop, there we go. We're going to see what comes out over here. You might be able to hear something or other. Okay, so right over here in my hand, I have the beautiful oil that I got at the store, which is a nice golden color. But if I look over here, what I got of the olives, you will see a nice black color. And the reason is, when I ask you what's inside of an olive, there is actually three things. There is olive juice, there is olive oil, and there is wax. Those are the three things that are inside of every olive that gets pressed for oil. And what would they do in the time of the Beit HaMikdash, in the time of the temple, is they would let the oil and juice sit in a barrel for 3 days. The juice, which is very heavy, would heavy would float to the bottom. The oil, which is light, would rise to the top. And the wax would make a solid layer, white layer in the middle, and separate the oil from the juice. And that's how they would actually separate oil in the times of the Holy Temple in the Beit HaMikdash. And that process would take 3 days. They had 3 days, day and a half traveling there, day and a half traveling back, 3 days to make the oil, day about cutting and getting it all ready. And that's why it took 8 days. So now we're not in the time of the Beit HaMikdash, not the Holy Temple. So how do they separate it now? So for that, they use a machine that some of you may have heard before called a centrifuge. Doctors use this machine. And we're going to see if we can zoom in a little bit on the machine, please. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these test tubes. So we have one of these test tubes right over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill it up. There we go. All the way to the top. I'll show you the test tube. This way everyone can see it. Okay, so there we have the test tube right there. Okay, we're now going to take it and we're going to put it into the centrifuge. Now, for those that are not doctors or not pharmacists, what is a centrifuge? A centrifuge spins around super, super, super fast and will do the same thing as if we let it sit for 3 days. So I'm going to take the one over here. I'm going to turn it on. And we'll leave it, I would say, let's count to 8 for the 8 nights of Hanukkah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's turn it off. Wait for it to slow down a little bit. And let's see what we got over here. So I'm going to come into the camera that you can all see. So you will see at the bottom, the black that we had right before. Okay, you'll also see my beautiful red beard. But you will also see that at the top, we have beautiful golden olive oil that we just made today, fresh olive oil. Now you know I get this much out of all those olives, why you spend $35 a bottle on olive oil. Okay, well, we're going to take this oil. We got to see if it works. And we're going to put it into our menorah tonight, as you just did, lighting the 7th night. Okay, I'm going to put it in there. I do want to tell you, is it Jane? Jane? You were sitting so nicely. I got you a thing of chocolate gold coins, but sorry that you're in California, not in New York. Sorry about that. Okay. So just so that there. Okay. We're going to actually light the candle to see if it works over here. Be another Hanukkah miracle. Okay. Here we go. We're going to light our oil, fresh squeezed oil that we just made. See if it lights. All right. You can see over there. We can zoom in a little bit, please, on the candle, on the 7th candle. You can see over there the oil is burning bright. Give yourself a round of applause. Now, before I throw it back to Rabbi Schusterman and to Ezzy, anyone have any questions about this process or anything that you've seen today? Feel free to give me a wave. We'll unmute you. Shout out. You could just tell me how good I was, how much you like seeing me. I'll be down in California in a short week, so we'll stop by for a coffee or something. Oh, yes. Someone's
Elise.
waiting. Yeah.
Elise, yeah, unmute yourself. No, you muted.
What happens with the juice? What do you do with the juice of the olives?
So what do we do with the juice? I actually usually throw it in the garbage. These are not eating olives. These are not really stuff that you work with. That are special olives made for pressing. It comes from hot places like California, great olives in Florida. Seen a couple of good trees in Hawaii. That stuff's really, really good. But you actually still know, till today, the best pressing olives. You ask anyone that makes oil, guess where it comes from? Israel. Best olives to use for any oil making comes from Israel. People are in the oil business. They love it. They love getting the olives from Israel because they get the most oil out of them. Any other questions? Because Isaac is ready to go. He's rocking. He's tuned up, man. He's looking like he's like, dude, get off. I can get on. And we got any other questions before we throw it back to you guys? Yes, Spencer. Let's unmute Spencer.
How long does it take to make the olive oil?
So we just made a little bit in about 10-15 minutes. We made the oil. But if you're doing big batches, then it would obviously take much longer. But they have bigger machines than I do have over here. So I'm sure they take lots more olives before they make the oil. But great question. Great question on this one. So. All right. Tiki and Bernie, I'm telling you, you guys are matching over there. You guys look great. You guys, wow, gotta throw it over to you. Look at that. Probably a Hanukkah. No one told me. I would have worn blue if you would have told me. They didn't tell me the color code. But nice stuff, nice stuff. I see Jonathan got the memo blue. He's on it. Nice stuff over there. And but it looks like everyone's just enjoying Hanukkah. If you have Rabbi Ezzy, what is there not to enjoy? So I want to wish you all a very happy Hanukkah. So nice to meet you all, and keep enjoying those latkes and donuts. Keep getting oil. Just forget about the zit till after next week. Happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Happy Hanukkah. Thank you, Rabbi David. It was an honor to hear you. And honestly, I've known where olive oil comes. I've seen these presentations, but this is the first time that I've actually been able to see it up close. I've always been the guy in the back of the crowd, and here we each got a front row seat to this presentation. So thank you very much for sharing with us the whole story of olives. And after we're done, I'd love to see how your front step is shoveled, and to see how you're managing in the snow. So thank you. We're now going to turn it over to Isaac Zones. And as I mentioned earlier, the biggest nachas, the biggest pleasure that a parent can have is when a son can have is when their parents come to see them perform. And so tonight we have Isaac, and we have his biggest fan, Jane, and his second biggest fan, me, to listen to some Hanukkah songs from Isaac. And it's a little bit of a different experience listening to music on Zoom, but everyone is welcome to join into the song. Don't unmute until Isaac says to unmute, because it's kind of hard to hear when everyone's singing together. But sing loud, dance in your home, and we'll join Isaac for some Hanukkah music. So I'm going to ask Isaac to unmute, and I'm going to spotlight Isaac, and you're on.
All right. Thanks, Rabbi. Chag Sameach. Hello, everyone. Happy Hanukkah. Anybody ready to sing and dance out there? Yeah? All right. I see a couple hands up, including my mom put 2 hands up. Perfect. Here we go. Ready? Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party. We'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table. We'll give you a treat. Sevi won't to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, candles are burning low. One for each night in Yiddish. Sing along if you can. Chanukah, oi Chanukah, ayantiv v'sheina, l'dika feilika, nishto nach zayna, alle Nacht in Schleilech spielen wir, wische Hesselatkas, essen anashe, geschwindet sind Kinder, Chanukah liegt lechon, singt Alanisim und danken Vadenisim, und Gechetan sind und singt Alanisim und danken Vadenisim, und Gechetan sind und one for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Chag Sameach! Happy Hanukkah, everyone. I want to sing with you. Thank you. I want to sing with you one of my favorite Hanukkah songs. It's a song in Ladino, Sephardic Jewish language. It sounds like Spanish, but it's in Ladino. And I'm going to ask you to do some clapping at home if you can follow along. We're going to go like this. You ready? Down, 1, 2, down, 1, down, 1, 2, down, 1, down, 1, 2, down, 1, down, 1, 2. I see the clapping looks great. Keep going. Down, 1, 2, down, 1, down, 1, 2, down, 1, down, 1, 2, down, 1, down, 1, 2, down, 1. Keep going with that clapping. Looks good. Hanukkah linda está aquí. Ocho candelas para mí. Beautiful Hanukkah's here. Hanukkah linda está aquí. 8 candles for me. Ocho candelas para mí. All right, we're about to count on our fingers in Ladino. You ready? We're going to go like this. Una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. That's beautiful. That was just practice. We're going to do it one more time. Keep in mind that number 5 is cinco and number 6 is seis, a little different than the Spanish. First, we're going to go like this. Whoa! And wave our hands real crazy in the air. Let's try it. Here we go. Whoa! Yes, I love that. On your fingers now. Una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. Beautiful. Let's do our clapping again. Down, 1, 2, down, 1, down, 1, 2, down, 1, down, 1, 2, down, 1, down, 1, 2. Looking good. Muchas fiestas por hacer. A lot of parties to go to. Con alegría sin placer, with happiness and pleasure. Muchas fiestas por hacer. Con alegría sin placer. Get ready to wave your hands in the air. Whoa! Yeah. Una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. One more time with our clapping. Here we go. Down, 1, 2, down, 1, down, 1, 2, down, 1, down, 1, 2, down, 1, down. Looking good out there, yeah. Los pastelicos por comer, con almendricas y la miel. The pastries we eat. Los pastelicos por comer, with almonds and honey, con almendricas y la miel. One last time with your hands in the air. Whoa! On your fingers. Una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. Awesome. Love that energy. Love all the counting and the clapping. We're going to do a song that is a fun one, a silly one. It's meant for the young people here, but I think some of the adults are going to enjoy it too. We're going to sing our classic dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made it out of clay. And if you have ideas of other materials to make a dreidel out of, send it in the chat box online with your typing, and I'll do my best to improvise some new verses of what we can make our dreidel out of with your ideas. So chat them in if you got some. If you don't have any ideas, I'll just make them up, and that'll be really easy for me. Okay, here we go. Had a little dreidel, I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. When it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. The Rebbe once medal. I had a little dreidel, I made it out of metal. And when Hanukkah was over, turn it into a tea kettle. Yeah, very resourceful. You want to throw things away. Okay, Legos. I had a little dreidel. I made it out of Legos. When it was time for breakfast, I spun it with my huevos. That is Spanish for eggs. I like to eat eggs for breakfast. Any other ideas of what you like to make your dreidels out of? I'll tell you what, I'll throw one out there for you. How about glue? I had a little dreidel, I made it out of glue. When I went, I tried my best to spin it, and now I'm spinning too, because I'm stuck to the glue. Okay, snow, great idea. I had a little dreidel, I made it out of snow. I left it by the heater. Hey, where'd my dreidel go? What do you think happened to it? I saw one incredible reaction. Thank you very much. I had a little dreidel. I made it out of chocolate, but when Hanukkah was over, I could not get off of it. I was addicted to chocolate. I can't stop eating it. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Well, oh, fire. We got one more with fire. Here we go. I had a little dreidel. I made it out of fire. It took over the dining room table, and the flames went higher and higher. The ring of fire. Speaking of which, have you heard about the dreidel that spun off in a bad direction and had no gimel, no noon, no hay, just had all shins, and it ended up in Folsom Prison? Had a little dreidel, I made it out of clay. When it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel I'll play. Yeah, I had a little dreidel, I made it out of clay. When it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel I shall play. All right, little backstory. Here we go. Ready? I was just a baby. Mama told me, son, don't eat all the chocolate, gelt or dreidel won't be fun. But I knocked down my old dreidel just to watch it fall. Now I'm praying for a gimel. Hashem, please answer the call. One more time, here we go. I had a little dreidel, made it out of clay. When it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel I'll play. Yeah, I had a little dreidel, I made it out of clay. When it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel I shall play. Awesome, little Johnny Cash dreidel for you. I got 2 thumbs up. I'll take it. You know, dreidels the word in Yiddish for the little top that we spin, but there's another word in Hebrew. I'm going to ask you if you know what it is, but then I'm just going to move on and assume you all do know what it is. It's a sevivon. Sevivon, sob, sob, sob. And if you are out there and you want to move your body around a little bit, you can take your hands, put it above your head, and maybe do a little spinning. A little sob, sob, sob. Here we go. Ready? Sevivon, sob, sob, sob. Chanukah, hu chag tov. Chanukah, hu chag tov. Sevivon, sob, sob, sob. Chag simcha, hu la'am. Nes Chag Simcha Ha'olam. Sevivon, spin and turn while the Hanukkah candles burn. What a beautiful holiday. Let's all eat and dance and play. Tell the story, chant the prayers. A great miracle happened there. It's the festival of lights. We'll be spinning for all 8 nights. Sevivon, sov, sov, sov. Hanukkah, hu chag tov. Hanukkah, hu chag tov. Sevivon, sov, sov, sov. Chag simcha ha'olam. Nes gadol haya sham. Nes gadol haya sham. Chag simcha ha'olam. Awesome. I'm going to play for you one of my favorite Hanukkah parodies. It's a couple years old now from the Maccabees. It's called Candlelight, and it's a really fun dance tune. So if you want to get up and move around a little bit, here we go. Ready? I'll tell a tale of Maccabees and Israel, of when the Greeks tried to sail, but it was all to no avail, yeah, the war went on and on and on, until the mighty Greeks were gone, yeah. I flip my lockers in the air sometimes, singing spin the dreidel. Just wanna celebrate for all 8 nights, singing light the candles, we sing my old sword, oh yeah, for all 8 nights, and we play dreidel by the candlelight. And I told you once, now I told you twice, about the miracle of the candlelight. They took the field. Their rocks hot, are they for real? Those Maccabees would never yield. They charged ahead with sword and shield. Yeah, the war went on and on and on, until the mighty Greeks were gone, yeah. I flip my lockers in the air sometimes, singing spin the dreidel. Just wanna celebrate for all 8 nights, singing light the candles, we sing my old sword, oh yeah, for all 8 nights, and we play dreidel by the candlelight. And I told you once, now I told you twice, about the miracle of the candlelight. And the great Menorah, for 8 days it kept on burning. What a celebration, a great return to Torah learning. I can feel it. Nes gadol hayasham, nes gadol hayasham, nes gadol hayasham, sham. I flip my lockers in the air sometimes, singing spin the dreidel. Just wanna celebrate for all 8 nights, singing light the candles, we sing my old song, oh yeah, for all 8 nights, and we play dreidel by the candlelight. And I told you once, now I told you twice, about the miracle of the candlelight. All right, rocking out. What kind of doll is that with a big beard that I see? It's got an apron on, maybe? That doll, oh, Latka Larry, of course. How could I not recognize Latka Larry? What was I thinking? Chag Sameach, everyone. I'm going to leave you with one last song. I hope this will be a sing-along for you. I hope that all of you get to enjoy this holiday. My gosh, have I ever needed a holiday in my life? And take the light that you get from Hanukkah and spread it out. Everybody needs it. Shine it out, spread it out, and we're going to sing a little bit. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine for Hanukkah. Here we go. Ready? This little light of mine, shine down on all of us. Chag Sameach, Happy Hanukkah, let your light shine.
Great.
Do you have a recording or DVD or?
I have all kinds of stuff on my YouTube if you want to check it out, including some great new Hanukkah videos. One for Ocho Candelitas, one for the Folsom Dreidel, and one for 5 Little Latkes, which I didn't do, but it's a great one for kids. So
Great.
Okay.
All right. Send this.
get on YouTube or on my website. There are a lot of music online. I have 2 Hanukkah albums if you search on Spotify or wherever you listen to music. Yeah.
Sounds great.
Thank you. That was wonderful.
That was great.
You were amazing. You were staying and clapped and moved your hands. You're so excited about my ideas for the dreidels.
Thank you so much, Isaac. And everybody should know Isaac is also available for hire for weddings, bar mitzvahs, or just if you need somebody to come and play and put you to sleep. Not in the back, to some background music. Isaac is awesome.
I'll put you to sleep for the right amount of money, no problem.
And you could hire Elise to be your dancer. You guys could work together.
Perfect. We got it. All
Hey,
right.
let's do it.
Ready for the roads.
Thank you, Rabbi Weinbaum, Rabbi David, everybody for joining us for the menorah lighting and the Hanukkah celebration. It was in many ways more intimate and more fun to be able to actually see each of you guys and connect with you. And thank you, Mayor Nisa Flager, and really everybody, Asaf Resnick for lighting the menorah, and everyone who participated and joined us tonight. Feel free to join us for other events here at Los Altos Chabad. And wishing you all a very happy and joyous and fun Hanukkah. And stay healthy.
Thank you very much. Happy Hanukkah.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Thank you. Oh, this was so fun. Thank you so
A
much.
lot of fun.
Thank you, guys.
You made Hanukkah. Thank you.
Bye, Ozzy.
Bye, Spencer.
Great to see you, Ozzy.
Happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Bye, Ozzy.
Bye, Spencer. Bye, Tiki and Bernie.
Bye. Thank you very
Bye,
much.
Chag Sameach.
Bye, Vladimir and Lena. Good to see you guys.
Bernie.
Leon.
Bye, everyone.
Tiki and Bernie, hi.
Hi, how are
Hi,
you?
how are you?
Good to see you. It's been so long.
I know.
Great to see you. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to see you. Chag Sameach.
Some-
Larry also says Chag Sameach.
What is that? I didn't hear you.
Latka Larry, he says Chag Sameach.
Right.
I love him.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Rabbi and
Thank you, Rabbi.
family.
Thank you guys for joining.
Great night.